severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
This is an announcement for shareholders of Cayman National Corporation Limited. Republic Financial Holdings has made a cash offer of $7.75 per share for the purchase of the remaining minority shareholdings of Cayman National. The offer is open until 5 p.m. Cayman time on July 29th. Shareholders are reminded to review the offer and submit their form of acceptance to offers@rfhl.com if they wish to accept the offer. For any questions, shareholders can reach out to Republic Financial Holdings at offerquestions@rfhl.com.
In accordance with the Standards in Public Life Act, persons in public life must submit their 2025 declarations to the Register of Interest by 30th of July. Persons in public life include members of Parliament, senior public servants, and members of governing bodies of statutory authorities and government companies. Failure to submit a required declaration is an offence under the Act and can result in penalties. For more information or to file your annual declarations to the Register of Interest, visit www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky/Register of Interest by 30th of July 2025.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And I think we had a little internet problem there. YouTube went down, but I think it's back up now. So if you want to watch us that way instead of listening on radio, YouTube should be back online. So I was wondering what that person meant by only allow one marriage, as it's done in Bermuda, according to them. And they say it means you can't marry 9 times, and each spouse gets citizenship under the marriage. Yeah, I guess if you do it 9 times, and everybody's getting status, that would be sort of like you have a business going, right? You need to take out a trade and business license for that. We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
Man, I'm telling you, I feel fantastic.
Great to hear that.
Not married, but I'm fantastic. I'm fine so far. Mr. Charlo, you know what I want to ask, a question I want to ask. I don't know how many people look at things from this angle. But is it possible that 2 Caymanians can have a marriage of convenience?
2 Caymanians?
I know you don't have a doctorate, Mr. Charlo, but I wonder.
Well, I guess if they wanted to do something as a married couple, that's some advantage that they saw, I guess. But, unless they were trying to defraud someone, it would. I don't see.
Oh, okay. Mr. Charlo, I don't like to tell nobody my business. I don't like to tell anyone my business when it concerns anything like that. But because I don't really have much to say about all this, no criticisms and all that kind of stuff. But no, who it is, who loves the little poor man? And like they were saying, who it is that love the madman now? And the other rest of people now that down and life now, who it is that love them now? Who love them? I ain't perfect. So I'm wondering now where this thing about our relationship now, how it start, how does it start sometime? What makes you qualify? I mean, do you have to be the number one guy? Do you have to have a lot of money?
Money helps.
You have to have a fancy car and a big house.
Fancy car helps too.
Well, Mr. Charles, I'll tell you the truth, I ain't got nothing to prove to the other person. And if I had it, I wouldn't tell you anyhow. I wouldn't tell her.
Are you asking me how relationships starts?
Well, because no, Mr. Charlo, I mean, that's what we're saying. No, I mean, if two Caymanians want to get in a relationship, what makes you qualify? At least I wouldn't say other people, but what makes me qualify now?
What do you mean qualify?
To be in a relationship with her.
Both of you like each other, and both of you are competent.
Mr. Charlo,
you're of sound mind.
I met a lot of women in my lifetime. Plenty. And Mr. Charles, I tell you the truth, I don't have not much to say because I don't even like to talk about it. but I mean, I just wonder because, you hear this thing about, well, you hear very, very often the most common thing is, you got to be able to take care of me. Got to be able to take care of her. And I don't have nothing to say about that. I mean, I don't understand what's going on. So I think they should look into it too. And I mean, not to get radical about it, but is it possible? Looking at things from another angle, is it possible that you can have two Caymanians entering a marriage of convenience? Because in the end,
do you understand what we say when we mean, or what we mean when we say marriage of convenience?
I've been looking into it for decades, Mr. Charlo. But
decades.
Yeah, I've been studying that kind of thing, but I don't get into it. I'm not interested in putting my hand in that kind of thing. Getting
okay.
my mouth mixed up in it. But I'm just wondering what makes you qualify sometime. You're like the number one guy today, and then you get sick and you ain't number one guy tomorrow. So is there still any love? So sometimes when they see that I think sometimes when they see the woman giving the man a little bit of love, leave him alone, and make him get a little love. Make him get his little love. And
well, as one of the callers said, don't go messing in people's business, right?
Yeah, man. That ain't good. That ain't good. No marriage.
All right. Thank you so much for your call.
Okay, Mr. Chala. All right.
So that's going to be a new thing, whether you're qualified to marry, right? Here's a WhatsApp message. We're talking about marrying 9 times, and each one of the spouses, each time one of the spouses gets a Cayman status. This person says, "Hi, Chalo, marrying 9 times or more is the new business in Cayman. And yes, it's illegal. And people are being paid as a business. This is the gap that we need to block, as we are getting the wrong type of people, lots of criminals in the Cayman Islands. Well, if they're criminals, there should be some kind of check there against that. But, if people are marrying that amount of times, like how they said that this woman was marrying nine times, and each one of them got some kind of right out of it, that certainly sounds like a business to me. And, how that could happen is beyond me, because, there had to be some period of time in between all of that, and then a divorce and all of that. That sounds like really a long-term plan. It's coming up on 2 o'clock, and that means we got to take a break and find out what is happening in the headlines.
76.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
A busy week for cruise tourism with up to 20,000 cruise ship passengers expected this week. Tomorrow we expect Disney Treasure with up to 3,400 people. On Wednesday, its Celebrity Reflection has up to 3,000 passengers. And then up to 76,000 people on Carnival Horizon and Celebrity Beyond, which are stopping in on Thursday. Finally, MSC Seascape is the final ship of the week. That ship has a 5,600 passenger capacity. You can find the full ship schedule online at caymanport.com. In international headlines, Thailand and Cambodia agreed today to an unconditional ceasefire during a meeting in Malaysia. It is a significant breakthrough to resolve 5 days of deadly border clashes that have killed dozens of people and displaced tens of thousands. At least 2 people were fatally shot and 3 more hospitalized after a shooting this morning at a casino in Reno, Nevada. Officials tell the Associated Press the gunman opened fire just outside the Grand Sierra Resort, shooting multiple people before being taken into custody. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Welcome back to Talk Today, and we have a caller on the line, so let's check in with our phones. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Hey, Mr. Glidden, it's me again.
Uh-huh.
Listen, why don't you leave those people and let them get married as many times as they want to get married? Don't you know Elizabeth Taylor said she was going to marry as often as it took her to get it right? Anyway, I thought I'd throw that joke in there when I heard your last comment. What I wanted to say, in the States, and I keep going back to the States, I know people are going to get tired of this, but it's because I know what I know a lot about what's going on what happens over there with some things. Certain states, including Georgia, have what they call a cooling off period for divorces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So You just can't get a divorce like that in certain states. You have to wait for, I know Georgia has a waiting time of a year, and it's called like a cooling off period, so you don't make a rash decision to get a divorce, especially when you have a family and stuff like that. I know there are one or two states, I can't remember which ones, that also have mandatory waiting periods before you can marry. And that may be something our government may look into. I know some years ago, there was some talk about it, but I think there should be a mandatory waiting period to get married, unless there are visitors that are coming to this location for a destination marriage or wedding, whatever you call it. So those may be two things, or that may be something the government may want to consider. Now, I know there's going to be people say, oh, well, you can't tell me when to get married, but what are we going to do to protect the interest of the majority, that may have legitimate marriages? And at the end of the day, government itself has a responsibility to the people of their country to implement laws and enact legislation that will protect the people. Unfortunately, it also penalizes sometimes the innocent, but that's a risk that has to be taken, because too many marriages of conveniences are going on in Cayman, and it's a lot of it has to do with our very our working class and minority class persons that are not, and certain statures and statuses of life here in Cayman, and I believe that is something they can consider, whether and I know some years ago they had mandatory premarital meetings with that the marriage officers were able to do before they were able to marry the couple. So I'm not sure if that's still in place, so that may be some other things that...
I don't know if you heard Mr. Billy saying there that the marriage officer can't refuse to marry him.
Right.
But if the marriage officer thinks that there's something suspicious about it, the onus is on them to say something to work, WORC.
Right.
That I don't think this is quite legit,
But how are they going to know? How are they going to know if there's something? I mean, sometimes you may, if you're trained, you may be able to pick up. But
you pick up on something.
Yeah, it can be a little hard, especially if someone comes to you and say, oh, we want to get married in 2 weeks. And I think there's a mandatory period by law that you have to notify the public, put public notices out there in case there's anyone that wants to contest the marriage.
Yeah, I remember they used to put them up on the church and all that.
Yeah. They still do it at the courts. They still do it at the courthouse, yeah.
What are they called, bands or something? You put up the bands?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the name, but
people could object.
Yeah, if all marriage officers were encouraged, let's just say that then, not mandatory, but were encouraged to say, hey, I'd like to do a 2-hour sit down with you guys before I marry you. That may be something that could be a deterrent also. And we know justice of the peace, I believe, can marry people also. They should also be the ones to say the same thing, They take that responsibility and say, I'm sorry, but I would love to sit down and just have a chit chat with you guys for an hour or two before I marry you, just to get to know you guys and make sure. There's certain ways of wording things that you don't put people on defense or on guards. But if that was encouraged for marriage officers, that would be another great thing for government to do, And something else I was going to say, oh my gosh, that slipped my mind. I was trying to write things down as I was going along because your YouTube channel dropped off.
Yeah, it should be back up now.
And yes, the oh my goodness.
But I think it still really comes down to when people go to get the right to work or to get status, that some kind of investigation takes place there. The thing that we were talking about previously, where you interview the couple separately, and you ask questions that only a married couple are going to know about each other.
Right. And also to supply proof and that sort of thing.
And also, I mean, because if it's a marriage of convenience, ultimately it's to get the rights and then, I guess, a divorce.
Yes.
Because you really don't want to live with this person, right? For the rest of your life. So at some point you want to say goodbye.
Right.
And if you put a long enough period on there, you can't get Cayman status. What was it you that was talking about 15 years?
Yes.
I mean, 15 years is a long time to stay with somebody that you really don't want to be with.
Exactly. Somebody wasn't happy that I said 15 years and thought that it should stay at 22 years, but you're absolutely right. 15 years is a long time.
15, 22, whatever it is, if it's a long period that you say, if you say you're going to get married to this person and you're going to want to have Cayman status or work rights, if you want to keep that, you're going to have to live with this person a long time.
Yep.
And we mean live
long
together.
Live and cohabit under the same roof.
Yes.
And immigration, have home visits, like how they do for children and family services, where they randomly sometimes show up and do home visits and stuff like that. I mean, these are the times it has to come to, because, Mr. Glidden, many times when a Caymanian marry a non-Caymanian, right, there is another family in another jurisdiction. And the onus now becomes on the Caymanian to help support that other family, in addition to if they start a family for themselves or they already have a family here, like a step family or something like that. So now the responsibility, the stress, and I mean, if they want to take on that responsibility, who are we to say they shouldn't do it?
No, it would really boggle my mind if you get into a marriage of convenience and you start a family.
Right, and then for instance, if some person doesn't know it's a marriage of convenience, because especially in the case of a female Caymanian and a male Caymanian, let me tell you something. It is easy as a woman, just saying as a woman, it is easy, and it doesn't have to do with marriages of convenience or non-Caymanian to Caymanian. We talk about female and male interactions. It's easier for a woman to fall for a person than for a man is to fall for a woman. We all know that. That's human nature, right?
Emotional part of it.
Right. And so when that happens in a Caymanian and non-Caymanian situation, especially for Caymanian females and males, it's kind of hard to determine if it really, because of the genetic makeup of men and how convincing they are to their their female counterpart. And so we really don't know. And women are more susceptible to women are more susceptible to marrying someone that already has a family. And we know many people that come here, migrate to Cayman, and from certain countries already has at least one child, and they have other dependents that are depending on them, because a lot of times they come from impoverished backgrounds and that sort of thing. So we are the saving place for them to come and work and support their families. But then, like I said, I have seen this many times, thousands of times over the years, that the Cayman, and it actually happened to me too when I first got married. I was maybe 28, and my first husband was from Honduras. Luckily, he only had his mom. But I found it in myself where I wanted to also send things to the auntie and the cousins and the whatever. And sometimes he felt like he wanted to do the same thing. So that responsibility fell on me too, and put extra pressure on our relationship and our marriage. And that's what a lot of Caymanians are finding themselves into too. And then they have to go to certain government agencies for more assistance or work more than 2 jobs. And, it is such a big, broader social issue than we realize. And that's another thing government need to look at, because what is it going to do? Who else is going to come now when this person get married to a Caymanian, and then they got married a few years, like I said to Mr. Connor this morning, of the certain national that had it posted on a social media platform, that she came with the intention to work and to bring her family, the rest of her family. They were all aware of that. And so she was taking a picture at the airport with her family. I think it may have been 3 or 4 or maybe a number more of family members that had arrived in the airport, and she was saying, she felt good, and I'm not saying that that's not something that they should look forward to, but
she came with the intention of immigrating.
Yeah, she came with that intention to immigrate, and I don't know if she's married to a Caymanian. I don't remember if the article said so or whatever, but she certainly got herself established, and after a period of time, she has brought the rest of her family here, and they intend to stay. And let's say, for instance, I believe it may have been 5 people, right? That is 5 people here that we know they're going to figure a way out through the loopholes in our system to stay in the Cayman Islands and live here permanently. And like I was saying to Mr. Connor this morning, we have to be a transient location. If that's what we're going to do, let it be a transient location. And for persons that want to marry Caymanians, we have to make sure that these are legitimate marriage. Caymanians, we need to educate Caymanians but we can't speak of matters of the heart. But the government responsibility is to make sure that they're putting things in place. And like I said, some of our Caymanians need to realize they get excited when they become a step parent. Even though it's putting a strain on them, especially the females. But we have to start educating our people and encouraging them make better choices, make wiser choices, and government put in place, like I said, the interviews and the document. And let me tell you the other thing that I believe the law here is set up like that, because I read the immigration transition law a few times, but it's such a lengthy document covering so many little different areas. In the States, for example, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, and you can get your temporary permanent residence. You can get your temporary permanent residence first, and then going up to 9 months before the 3rd year that you're married, you can apply for your permanent residency in your 3rd year of being married, but you have to apply for it in the 9 months before the 3rd year anniversary. And during that 9 months at that 9 months period, when you apply, again, you have to show that you are in a bona fide marriage. So again, immigration will interview the spouses. You have to show that, in the States it's a little bit different because you have people in the military, you have people moving for work and all that, and sometimes the spouses may not be able to live together, but you still have to prove and show. They still do phone interviews. They still do interviews from state to state. One department does it in that state, the next department does it in the next state, because they need to prove that, okay, you're applying for your permanent residence, going up to the 3rd year of marriage, are you still in a legitimate marriage?
Yeah. And
then after you get that, you're fine. If you want to get a divorce, you're fine. But don't come back and say you want to apply for your U.S. citizenship under marriage, because you still have another leg now to prove that you're still married to apply under marriage. So you see, our government, and I think Minister Miles is really, really serious about this. And I am full-fledged behind him, because I want to see this happen, and I think the rest of the government is too. I think majority of the Cayman Islands is. Government really needs to figure out and fix it so no other government comes behind them and try to undo it. We know it always happens. Every administration wants to change the previous administration.
They can always amend something.
Yes. But
yeah, I could see the point of checking at different points. Like if there's a check when you apply for your right to work, and then if you want to get status, another check
permanent
again.
residency.
Permanent residency. Yep.
And then
you
status,
get permanent residency first, right? Then status.
Mm-hmm.
So at those points, you say, "Are you still living together?"
Yeah.
Because the people can, after a while, people just get used to it and they drift apart.
Yeah, show me some tickets that you've gone on family vacations together, or you've applied for your spouse's visa, or you guys go to dinner together. You go to, in the States, you would be amazed at the trivial little things that the officers there request. And like I said, I know, because I have had to help run people through the interview process. and I studied immigration in the U.S. and the trivial little things that they require to show a bona fide marriage. We need to do those things here in Cayman. We should not shy away from that.
It's those little things that you think is inconsequential.
Yeah.
That prove that you're living together. Those day-to-day things.
Yeah.
That you don't see as being that big a deal.
Right.
But it leaves a track of the two of you acting in concert.
Right. Exactly. All right, I'll leave you with that again in case someone else wants to throw in their 2 cents.
All right.
Well,
thanks for calling back.
Thanks.
And time for a break. So let's take a break. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We've got about 7 minutes left in the show, so let's go straight to the phone line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello?
Glidden.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Where you been? You waited till the end of the show to call me again?
Boy, that's the best time to call because I'm not going to get an answer to the question.
What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
What is your topic today on marriage of convenience?
Marriage of convenience seems to have taken over the airwaves.
Wow. took so long for Cayman to realize that. What a mess we in. You know, a marriage is not a questionnaire. Marriage. You know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah.
You don't go and ask these questions. Are you marrying me for this? Or you marry me for that? And you don't. A marriage is, if two people are going to get married. A lot of pastors, especially they're in the church, they like to advise them to do some counseling to see where the weak spots are and where the strong points are to see if they're compatible. I remember someone getting married one time, and the pastor told the wife, remember now, you do not wear the pants. The husband wears the pants. You understand? But, we got marriages throughout the whole world, and there's convenient marriage, I would say, in the whole world. But Cayman must be out of the Caribbean, must be the only one that I can hear of that has so many inconvenient marriages going on in the island.
Because everybody wants to come here.
Everybody wants to come here, And when I look at what is happening and these marriage officers, the law needs to put something in writing for them.
Well, I don't know if you heard Mr. Billy when he called.
I didn't hear anything much today. I was busy.
Okay.
I was busy.
Mr. Billy, who knows the law very well, he looked it up, and marriage officers, if they suspect something, they are supposed to report it.
But they're not doing anything because they're looking at the dollar bill. Because things are getting tougher and tougher in the island, so they don't care. They're not going to live with the individual. They're getting their $200, $300, $500, whatever it may cost to get married in the Cayman Islands. We should not have to question anyone when they're getting married to that effect of when last did you go for dinner? When last did you go on a vacation? One question I would ask: do y'all live together? That's one question that's very important.
Yeah.
Understand?
That's an obvious one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main one that should be asked in a marriage here in this island, knowing that what's happening there now with a lot of convenient marriages going on.
Well, you see, some of those questions reveal whether they are living together.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine. She was married to a Cuban, and they was together for a little while, and he went his separate ways. And after a while, immigration find out everything and the bottom in individually and question them, and it really put the woman in a bad position because he picked that walk out of the marriage, and he was just looking his own convenient situation to be here in the Cayman Islands, And then she had to end up going on a work permit, and hey, he's still here. If I'm not mistaken, I think he married again, so he is still getting the fat rat out of the basket. And he's still here. But you see, when somebody divorces somebody, they end up still living here in the island because they probably don't have any crime record, and we just can't deport them just like that because the blah, 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 the law say this and the law say that.
Well, I think they have to be, to keep their Cayman residency or status, they have to be married for a certain amount of time, though.
Right, but then again, when they come off of that, they can stay here and come in on a work permit, and then they get involved with somebody else, and they get remarried again. But the convenient marriage in the Cayman Islands, it's the game, but then again, it's not a game because then it's been going on for too long now for it not to be nipped in the bud. Because in a lot of people, even some of those that have been married, can tell you that it was a convenient marriage to a degree. You understand? If they're honest enough. He's going to kill this guy in this bicycle. This guy is crazy. He's going to kill this guy in this bicycle. Look at him.
Is that an electric bike?
He said, yeah, this guy's an electric bike. He got the right of way, and this car doesn't know where it wants to go. It's a lady, actually, and he will not give her no space to try to do what she's trying to do on the road to get where she want to get. It's all about him. And this is craziness driving got to stop. This is on Eastern Avenue. Just give you a little idea what's happening out here. But, Mr. Michael Mars, I'm quite sure you do a good job. But like they always say, some things got to be ticklish, and, some people got rights, and some people got children, and blah, blah, blah. They got to use every excuse in the book to try not to consider it as a marriage or convenient. You understand? But I wish him well. And we, the people of this island, needs to leave it alone and let him do his job.
Well, I believe he's quite serious about it.
Yes, I feel so too. And I got a passion. He's going to do a very good job with the situation. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But if he keeps getting interference with all of us coming talking about it, who knows? We can scare some. We can make some get frightened. We can knock someone off of their mind of what they should really do from what they shouldn't do to get all crossed up in the mind. You know, just leave it alone and let the government say they're going to fix it. Let them fix it. And the marriage officers, they are just as much responsible, and they need to nip them in the bud and charge them for anything they may do illegal when it comes to a marriage to anyone on this island, not even knowing how long the individual live here. Does the individual they're marrying has a home, or they live in a rental? You know, that kind of way. Get a little basic information, but you don't have to go deep detailing of when last they slept together. They're sneaking in and out right now with NAU. I think the wives go inside the NAU and the husband stays outside, or the boyfriend stays outside, and then when night comes, the rat goes and eat the cheese.
Okay. Listen, we're out of time.
Yeah, you take care and have a good one.
All right, you two have a good afternoon. And that's it for me this afternoon. Thanks for making me a part of your afternoon. I'm Charles Glidden. Take care.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.